Tell me what to say.
Hello and welcome to another exciting new episode of Serious Nibbage with sbrebrown and...
Gourmet pens.
Gourmet pens! Gourmet pens!
Every time I hope he'll forget to do that, and yet he doesn't.
No, I know. Today we're going to have a look at this pen. And
that
this
pen
is the Pelikan
M205.
Amethyst.
Ooh. It's cute.
And it's a new pen, relatively new.
Amethyst is purple.
Yes, it's clearly a purplish pen.
This was sent to us by Applebaum. Sorry.
That doesn't work.
It was sent by Applebaum. So,
Applebaum pen.
sorry
And
about
you can
that.
get yours, and we'll discuss that in a second. Let's go through our first impressions. What were your first impressions?
What does that mean? You can get yours? You could just go there and get one.
Yes, but of course we have special deals and such.
Oh,
This is a
I see.
box, Pelican box. They always come in a similar box, right? I actually think this is an M800 box. I thought the M200 box was a little smaller, but
Oh, I thought they were the same size. Anyway,
well, I could
we have
be
so
wrong.
many boxes that they're...
these
To
things.
try and find the exact box was like, okay,
Yeah, it's madness.
this is madness.
So it's a similar thing. It's a coffin, and then you get a fake leather pouch with it.
I think we've discussed you've seen Pelican Nibbages, serious Nibbages before.
Maybe.
You know, it does the job. I don't think it's the most magnificent boxing, but it does stack well, so that's always a nice thing.
Yeah,
If you
and
want-
it's convenient if you want to display your pen.
Okay.
Now, as to the pen is purple. It's amethyst. I think that's a good way to sum it up. It has rhodium trim, which I think works pretty well together. This probably doesn't really look like amethyst. It's hard to capture on camera. It's quite gloomy
my
outside.
review is quite. I take close-ups of it.
Oh,
and
so
hopefully-
fancy! Two close-ups in my review.
No, but hopefully it'll capture the purple.
Yeah,
that
it's
you're
definitely dark purple. I mean, when I look at our LCD screen, it almost looks brown, but it is actually a dark purple. So let's hope that shows up well. Now, first impressions. What was your first impression like?
Well, he's had a lot of caffeine because he's really like intense. We've discussed the packaging. The pen, for me, it's a very cute size, so I like the size. But I was curious to see how they would pull off the purple because, of course, we've all been waiting for a purple pen for a really long time. We're still waiting for it from Lamy. Quebeco is now coming out with a purple Sport, but we've all wanted purple. So I was really excited to see the purple. I was a bit surprised by the purple, but we can go into that more after.
Yeah.
So first impressions, they were there. They were there.
Yeah, these are. I mean.
Wait.
Oh, go on.
What makes it special?
Yeah, I wasn't done with my first impressions yet.
Oh, wow,
I'm almost
a
done.
long first
But I had to discuss the box. As to the pen, well, it's a nice pen. I've used this model before, so I knew what to expect. I think it's definitely nice. This is not one of it's not the Pelican flagship, but that's okay. It is a well-made pen. I don't think it feels particularly cheap.
Wait, you were talking
So-
about another part already.
In that regard, I think my first impressions were
Oh,
good.
that was so unplanned. He just like seamlessly tried to do that, but anyway.
Everything's planned.
Anyway,
What
okay.
makes it special?
Yeah, positive first impressions, of course, with Pelican. I mean,
Could
how
be
do you
bad.
not? Anyway,
You could hate birds.
you could hate birds. You could hate pelicans. Apparently, they could be terrible. I don't know. What makes it special? Well, it is the amethyst version for this year.
Yes.
Last year was the Cafe Creme. The year before that was the Cognac, I think. So, the year before that was the clear pen with the gold trim. So, this year is Amethyst. So, it's special in that it is, I believe, not limited production, but special production. Limited time production? Not
think
limited edition, limited production.
Yeah.
That was
so
right.
it's not a fixed amount, but they will only produce it for a certain amount of time.
Sorry,
And stop.
those always confuse
No, it
me.
is confusing.
Okay. You know, the worst part is sometimes I see clips of these later and I see all the terrible faces he makes and I'm like,
No, yeah.
hey.
No, I'm nice. I like you.
Would you like to discuss your writing experience?
Yeah, my writing experience was okay. It's this is a fine nib. It is.
How do you do that?
It's not a gold nib. It's a.
It's a fine steel.
a fine
yeah.
steel nib, and you know it's fine. So you're going to feel some feedback. It's not as springy as some of the other Pelican. The gold nibs are, I think.
I don't know. I
especially
think it was
without-
pretty springy.
Yeah. Okay. Well, then that's good.
Well, look, I have paper right here.
Yeah. You
I
did.
think compared to
Yeah. That's,
the bigger
that's
nibs,
actually quite good.
like the M1000, fine that I have.
But that's not horrible at all.
That's not terrible.
So that's good, and I think it's smooth. It's Pelican. Usually, I think they are well tuned. Sometimes the ultra broad ones can be a little skippy, but I think with the fine mediums, I think they write really well, and that's it's just very pleasant to use. So my writing experience was actually quite good. What about yours?
Yeah, same with me. It was a very reliable, solid writing experience, and that's why I was very pleased with it. It is fine. It's not a Japanese type fine, so I think if you're looking for a really fine, this is not the nib for you. But if you want just like a nice, decent size of a nib for just general use, and it's a good one. Especially if you don't know what nib size you want. I think a Pelican fine or medium is a safe experimentation ground.
I think so too.
I think it's a cute nib. It's the silver looks good against the purple, but sorry, that's irrelevant. It is, so I showed you that it's a bit springy. Not flexible, but it is springy, and that's one of the things I really like about these model or this series, the 205 series nibs. They're quite springy. And especially with the fine, you really see the difference in it. Also, this nib does not skip or hard start or anything, so that's really great. And especially if it's going to be like your everyday pen or your daily carry type pen, that is something you want. So the nib was great. Writing experience, for me, this pen is comfortable. It's a light pen, it's a small pen, it posts really well, so for me it works really well. For you, you'll see. I mean,
I could use this unposted, but it's definitely on the small side, and not so much the length, because I think that's right. But it's a pretty thinnish.
Well, if you have giant hands,
pens,
it's a little on the small side. Yeah.
But if you post it, then I think it's fine, and because there's not so much metal on the cap. It's not very heavy, so it's actually a pen you can use very comfortably post, and I think then the length is definitely perfect.
Yeah.
It's just a little skinny, but that's...
So for you, that way, it's not that great, but for me, it's actually quite comfortable. So
now,
the writing experience was...
What did you love about it?
Well, what I love the nib. I think this nib, the fine was really great. I mean,
what's the best nib you ever used?
No, but I mean, it's really nice. And we did, I think, request a fine so that we could offer a different nib option, because I know we always do broad nibs, so yes, we have heard you. That was weird. And we've done the Cafe Creme already, so I don't want to reiterate too much, but look, what I love about it, interchangeable nibs. It's a piston filler. You can disassemble it to clean it yourself, really flush it out. It's a...
Yeah, but you can't disassemble this so easily. You can take the nib unit
sorry.
but you can't really disassemble the piston unit very easily.
Sorry.
So that's actually...
When I say disassemble, that's kind of what I mean.
Oh, yeah, no, that's fine. I mean, just to make
you can take the nib
piston
unit out so you can like flush out the inside instead of pistoning up and down all the time.
That's absolutely right.
Especially if you put something that's kind of hard to clean in here. And I think it's a nice size. It's really comfortable. It posts really well, and it's pretty robust. I think it feels pretty decent. So there's a lot of things going for this pen, this model, and you may have noticed I have not raved about the color yet. And I think the color, this is not a hate, because I don't hate it, but I was expecting a more clear purple. This one is...
It's very dark.
It's not so much the darkness, but it's a bit cloudy, and it's kind of it's really hard to show. Maybe, yeah, but seeing like this, it looks actually not as cloudy.
That's because the light is coming from the side here, so that's...
I don't know. Anyway, I'm trying to describe it. Maybe the cap will show it. It's just a bit cloudier. It's not super up here. It's not like super polished and clear. Now, that's not to say it's not a nice color or that it's ugly. I just thought it would be more clear, like the cognac version, which was a cognac colored, but it was very clear. So
maybe because it's darker, it seems a bit.
Yeah, maybe it's something to do with the color, the way it's made. I don't know. You can still see the ink, you can still see the piston, so you can see inside, but it's just a matter of what I thought it would look like, and it doesn't look like that. The color is very nice. it's just a matter of the tone of the color, the quality of the color,
hue.
the hue. I don't know, but slightly translucent, opaque purple. Not opaque, but not quite half opaque. I'm gonna stop talking. I don't hate that. I'm sorry. Take a sip of tea.
Shall I continue? What I love about it, I love the fact that this pen comes out of the box and writes straight away. There's no issues with it. It writes.
I also love that.
It writes well.
No skips,
and
hard starts.
This is not a $20 pen. We'll talk about the price in 1 second. But it's not. I don't think this is ultra expensive either. And for that price, you get a piston filler. Yes, you also get a steel nib, not a gold nib. But hey, you get a reliable pen. I'm willing to bet that 9 out of 10 times you open this cap and it will write straight away.
It's a pretty awesome steel nib, though.
That's really good. I love that. You know it's a Pelikan, so you know you buy something that is supposed to be of a certain standard of quality, which I think is really nice. Things I don't like about it so much, I don't know if it bothers me so much that the pen body material is a little cloudy. In a way, I think it's nice.
I mean, it's not ugly.
No.
I just thought it would be more clear, but it's...
Yeah, it's just a mismatched expectation, I suppose.
Yeah.
I mean, in a way, I kind of like this because you don't immediately see it's a demonstrator. It sounds really weird because I know people love demonstrators. I love demonstrators. But sometimes it's also nice to not see the ink sloshing
You
around
love
continuously.
demonstrators or clear pens.
Exactly.
Kidding. I'm just kidding.
But
Just
I like that it's not so transparent. My biggest issue is that, and I could be completely off. I'm not really a mineral expert, but when I think of amethyst, I think of something a little bit lighter than this. I think this is a very dark purple.
Yeah, I definitely think of a lighter.
So I don't know if I would really immediately label this as amethyst.
But the ink,
But
the Pelican ink of the year is also not.
it's also quite dark.
It's dark. It's a
So
magnificent color, in my opinion. But
The match is very good, but that's the only thing. That's not necessarily a bad thing. You don't see that many purple pens anyway, I think, so it's nice that there is that option. Now, as to the price, would you buy it? What does it cost?
Applebaum has these pens for, with VAT, 125 euros, without VAT, 103 and some amounts of cents or something. But
So
look,
103.
because I have owned and used many of these, obviously I don't need to get another one, but if I did not have one of these, or I was looking to give someone a gift that I knew would be a reliable writer and that there is a selection of options like nibs and models to choose from, at least while they're available, I would buy it.
All right.
Does that make any sense?
Yeah, it does.
Sort of.
I would not buy it for the reason that the model is too small for me personally.
Yeah.
But that's a personal thing. That has nothing to do with the quality of the pen or the way it writes. It's just something that's a bit small for me. But that's okay.
Yep.
It definitely is made well, and I would definitely recommend it, or maybe get it as a gift for someone.
Yeah.
I think that would work very well. Then you give someone a really nice, reliable writing instrument.
Also,
Now-
then you can get them addicted to Pelicans or just pens in general because they're like, oh, this is such a nice pen.
Of
What else
course.
is there out there?
Of course, if you want to buy it, you can get one from Applebaum, and if you are not in the EU, you don't have to pay the VAT, and if you use our code, which you can get to through our website, click on the banner, then you get a...
No commission or anything, it's just a
This thing we
referral.
have, then you get a 10% discount, so that may make it extra interesting, I think, especially for people outside of the EU who don't have to pay VAT anyway.
But it's a great
It's
gift.
okay.
I mean, this with
It does
the
make a good
ink,
gift.
the amethyst
Yeah.
ink, it's just such a perfect pair. So
Yeah.
I
It'd
think that's
definitely be
really
nice.
nice.
So that's cool. Now the big question is it, or is it not Series Nibbage?
Well, I think considering all factors, here is not serious, here is very serious. There are no numbers because this is not an exact science and we just cannot make it that exact. I would put it around. Yeah, I mean, it's not like super serious Nibbage because it's not a mind-blowing writing experience, but it is a solid pen, reliable writer. It is a piston filler. You can clean it really well. It has a lot going for it. So
You
it's
can switch nib units. That's also something, I don't know if we really mentioned that, but I mean that would make it interesting.
yeah.
So I think it's
serious.
I'd put it there.
It's not like crazy serious and like whoa.
Wow! They won't do that.
No,
But it's still a very, very nice pen.
it is a nice pen.
Now what else could you pick? If you don't want this, but you want something that is, say, about 100 euros, 125 euros. What would you get? You could save up I could say we have to save up quite a bit for Lamy 2000, but that would be piston filler.
Yeah,
Much
but
more
you could look at a Lamy Studio with a
Lamy
gold
Studio,
nib.
yeah.
But of course you don't get a piston.
Yeah.
And you could also look at a Falcon, but I think that's 140-ish, right?
Yeah. So
That's
it's not a
140
piston.
US. Not a piston, but a gold nib. So it really depends what you're looking for.
Yeah, that's a price range where there's definitely, you can look at a lot of Parkers, a lot of Watermans in that price range.
Monteverdes.
Monteverde would be an interesting brand to look at. So, there's definitely some
There's definitely
some
options. There's probably Watermans
Yeah.
around that range. Like
Yeah, for sure.
The Schaefer 100
Yeah, maybe, yeah. I
or
think so.
300. One of them.
Wow.
Anyway,
Many options. I think a piston filler at this price level might be a little dodgy unless you go with an Indian pen or a Noodles pen or something along those lines.
or the Twisby Eco.
Yeah, Twisby.
But
that
of
would
course,
be,
then you're going way down lower in the price range, which is not a bad thing.
Which is not a bad thing, and you would get a piston filler, and you would also get a steel nib, and you would also get a big ink capacity. So actually, I think Twisby would actually. That's pretty stiff competition. Something
That
like
is
the
definitely
Eco.
stiff competition. That would be a good shootout.
Yeah, that would be an interesting shootout. Anyway, that was
enough
this
of
for
our
this pen.
chit chat. Thank you again to Applebaum for borrowing us over this pen. Soon it'll go to its new home.
Yes.
Well, its former home. I'm gonna stop talking.
Anyway, we hope
cares.
this was useful,
Yes.
and we'll gladly see you later. Bye.
Snibometer time. Okay.